Why do all the consultants on TV talk shows think that ECOWAS only includes Ivory Coast? The countries in AES are free to leave the West African organization while maintaining their bilateral relations with Ivory Coast or other countries in the sub-region. When AES countries say that even after their withdrawal, their territories will remain visa-free for citizens of ECOWAS countries, it is because 3/4 of ECOWAS population comes from AES countries. The Confederation of Sahel States is a visa-free zone for all nationals of member states of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. I think that is a good thing. This decision underscores the readiness of the AES to be open to the other African nations. So, how can you prevent such a large portion of the population from freely moving between the countries of both organizations? At the same time, when some consultants are invited to TV shows in ECOWAS countries, why don't they ever criticize terrorists and instead prefer to attack the authorities of AES who are currently doing an excellent job fighting terrorism and ensuring security?
C'est de l'enfumage.
The creation of the Alliance of Sahel States is a joke aiming at confusing people. Since the beginning of this crisis, we've been saying it over and over again. The two generals and the captain have become gentrified in the luxury of the power.
Dans la luxure du pouvoir.
For example, in the case of Burkina Faso, the Quai d'Orsay once reported that 80% of the country was controlled by terrorists, while 13,000 Burkinabe killed between 2016 and 2022, all while French troops were present. This was before Captain Ibrahim Traoré became president. But today, after 2 years of President Traoré's rule, the French troops have left. We no longer hear about terrorists causing widespread chaos, except for occasional and cowardly attacks. The balance of fear has shifted. The Burkinabe Defense Forces and the VDP are on the offensive, hunting down the remaining terrorists, cornering them on their last hideouts.
We call on young people to mobilize in large numbers so that together we can support the president to succeed in his mission.
Nous avons fait le constat.
We have noted that President Ibrahim Traoré is committed to transparent and dignified governance. Let's not forget that in just 2 years, several reports from regional organizations show over 17,000 terrorists neutralized thanks to the strategic vision of Captain Ibrahim Traoré and the support from the Burkinabe people for their armed forces. But no one of the consultants talk about this on TV. The point is, people need to understand that the AES countries' decision to leave ECOWAS is not about ECOWAS countries, but rather due to a glaring reality. That reality is the manipulation of ECOWAS by foreign powers, especially France.
How can we explain the ECOWAS decision to ban even essential goods to the people of Niger under some democratic principle when ECOWAS does ever mention this? How can they decide to form a waiting force and attack a sovereign ECOWAS country like Niger, claiming to restore democracy when there are countries in this same organization that undermine their own constitutions straight out a Hollywood movie?
The whole of Niger is in favor of Niger's withdrawal from ECOWAS because the ECOWAS sanctions are afflicting us. We have recorded many deaths in hospitals. We have no access to electricity. We women suffer in maternity wards because of the lack of medicines. ECOWAS has closed the borders to us and nothing comes in, nothing goes out.
How can ECOWAS have never stepped out a force to fight terrorism in these countries while they face this threat?
It is time for the African people to stand united and praise the AES authorities for the red path to sovereignty they are taking. This effective approach is making other countries follow suit across the continent. In the face of this wave of sovereignty, the African people must understand that the recent campaign of defamation on TV shows and elsewhere has one goal: to sabotage this African sovereignty movement. It is important to note that the TV channels where some participants attack AES countries are owned by the French, including some channels in Ivory Coast. That's why on some TV shows we don't hear about terrorists. The goal is to defend and protect the interests of the master.